Buzz with Jess Lujan.
Hey, welcome back. I'm with, of course, former Senator Sonny Orsini, of course, one of the vendors down at Chamorro Village, Osu Smokehouse in particular. Now, Senator, let me talk about this because, you know, and you dealt with this when you were at the legislature as well, years back. I mean, a QC program is very important for Guam. Yes. And to enticing businesses and all that. Just recently, one of the hotels, I think, converting from a hotel to a condominium in Manila was granted a QC, and fantastic. I mean, it's a great thing. Yeah, it's a give and take, you know. And you know, we call it QCs here in Guam, but in most jurisdictions, what is called a QC basically is a tax holiday. Holiday, and there's a break. Companies wanted to come in, they invest all this money, they said, hey, can you give us a break in either rent, whatever, or taxes? Right. Let us get on our feet, let us employ people, we'll get that tax base going, but can you ease up on us? The new hospital has got a QC as well. I testify in favor of it because it's a good thing, it's a tool, it's a mechanism we use. What you guys in the incubator, this is a small entrepreneurial, Sonny Orsini, again, all the other vendors down there, also, this is your version, a very small way, of a QC, And again, not on a big scale, but on a very little scale. Correct. And so this is an equivalent. This is an equivalent because, again, at some point, Sonny is probably going to go out in the commercial real estate and look for space over there to leave that space open for somebody else, a new Sonny, to come on, right? I mean, am I wrong in my analogy?
You're spot on, Senator. The thing about the QC is, as you know, members of the body, you know, previously, and current members are aware of. The QC is a tool, a mechanism by which to attract direct foreign investment. Sure. That's what you want to do in the hopes of creating jobs. So there's a trade-off. So the trade-off is we give you these tax breaks, but these companies that invest in Guam and our people are also creating jobs, employment. Okay, so that's the basic trade-off. For small businesses, Prim, as any member of the Grand Ole Party knows, that the engine of economic growth is small businesses. Sure. And it's small businesses that are 5 million and down. And in Guam, it's even smaller than that, right? So that's the really small business. So businesses like mine and others in the Chamorro Village, what they do, what we do essentially is we create value added. And that value added, the product we create and we sell to the consumers actually is a form of community-based development. So when we do grow, Prim, when we do grow, we go out and we seek commercial real property as we grow, and we continue to hire more and more people, and our production level, our scales begin to increase. That increase, you know, there's a multiplier effect of 3, 4, you know, depending on what the level of service and product you're selling. And also in the long run, actually the wealth creation is actually stays on island. Whereas the QC companies actually, if they up and go because of global trends, whatever it happens, you know, there could be, you know, some external shocks, like real exchange rates. It may not be profitable for them to stay here, so they just up and leave.
And most of them have corporate headquarters basically outside of Guam.
Absolutely, and so with small businesses like ours here, small businesses pay into the local tax base. But if you're a multinational corporation, of which most of these QC recipients are, they essentially pay wherever their headquarters happen to be, which is off island. So the taxes are remitted elsewhere. It doesn't stay on island. Whereas small business people, you know, the mom and pops like us, ours actually stay, our money stays on island.
You know, and even in looking at individual businesses or vendors down at Chamorro Village, everyone is unique. Some of you are be able to, some of the vendors out there are probably just about ready to branch out into the commercial side, okay? Some are probably getting there. When I look at others I don't think will ever get there because of the uniqueness of their business and the specialty of their businesses. Not to say that they're not good business folks. All I'm saying is that because they're so specialized, they don't have the variety of things, okay? They don't have the variety of things. And they're competing against maybe bigger vendors, maybe other variety organizations that have maybe imports, lookalikes, basically, okay?
Correct.
And so they're competing against that. So I'm seeing Mr. Alcon, for example, who was interviewed. He said if this happens, he's going to have to sell all his inventory at half price, basically on a fire sale. I don't see him going to a commercial. I mean, Phil is a great artist, fantastic artist, but I mean, he's so devoted to his craft, okay? But I just don't see, again, millions of dollars pouring in. Not that his work is not worth that. It's I just don't see the folks coming in. And a lot of times, you know, he teaches people for free and all that. So it's the love of that. So I don't see, again, some businesses being able to even go out into, again, the commercial side of the house to try maybe, at least not in prime spots or hubs of businesses at this point. And that's what the Chamorro Village, the incubator, is to try to bring people what there is you know, in a center of places, you know, maybe not the hub of businesses, but close to it, so you can get some of those feeder effects from those folks. Now, maybe some of those folks be able to go out in the again, the commercial real estate side, but not, again, in the degree or maybe in a prime location as was set forth by, again, this incubator situation here down at Chamorro Village.
And that's a good point. The incubator program actually, I think this is where the Chamorro Village really steps in. It steps in for those artisans, like you mentioned, like Phil and the other artisans who make jewelry, who weave,
carve,
okay, Mr. Taitano there is a master carver, and of course the defunto si Tun Jack Lujan, many years has been there, and those guys are real, you know, artisans and anchors of the village. And so they do fulfill a unique role, and they actually offer up a very unique service. And just like you mentioned,
specialized service.
It's a niche market. Yeah, that's what we refer to, Prim. It's a niche market, so they may not have the scale economy in order to branch out, as you mentioned. No? So this is where the Chamorro Village needs to kind of step up and really support these local artisans who create real value, all right? And those value actually stays on island versus they're in the Wednesday night market, there are merchants there that sell products that come from, you know, China, come from, you know,
China.
Well, you know, versus the local folks who actually go and hunt the various shells in the respective areas along our island shores.
Outside of preserve areas.
Yes, outside, you know, exactly. And actually, you know, carve using the traditional tools, right? And so they actually, the village actually serves as a real unique market to push their product to individuals who want to acquire something that is truly Guam, not something made in the Philippines, and then China, in China, and then stamped with the Guam, you know, made in Guam stamp, which is really ironic, because that's another thing I think the village needs to do, is really focus on the true artisans there, making a true local Guam product.
Now, the merchants have met. You guys have met.
Yes.
But I've got to close here real quick. But anyway, have you met with management? Because you were on my show 2 Mondays ago on the radio show. We had finally we were able to get the president of Chamorro Affairs on air, Joseph Cameron, who came on and basically said he said there'll be a moratorium at least for this year and next year in regards to fee increases. Okay. Now that's what he said. So and we said, well, there you have it. I mean, Sus Masi, thank you very much. You know, it's solved for this year and next year. And next year as well. Have you been able to meet with management in regards to that and the solidification of what he said to us that morning 2 Mondays ago?
Unfortunately, we have not had any real official solidification of that statement on record.
Okay. I got to go take a break. We'll probably only have time to say goodbye, but